low key, and I am. I say I am. You know who I am. Today's topic falls under the chosen one paradigm. We're gonna be talking about destiny swapping. I'm gonna play this video, but I'm gonna kind of, I don't know, give you my point of view or my different perception of what I was just thinking about it yesterday or something. And I was just like, a lot of people feel like destiny swapping in a nutshell is somebody else stealing your sacred energy and using it to power their destiny, dreams, goals, whatever. But in my opinion, you can, and I could be completely wrong, but it's just something that, a theory. I'm like, you can sabotage your own destiny depending on what level of consciousness that you're at. So I'm gonna play this video and then we'll get into that.
To break out of this cycle, you ever feel like your life should be better than what it is, and everything you try to do to break out of this cycle, it don't work? You ever heard of something called destiny swap? You try to meditate, you detox, you take spiritual baths, you use herbs, you try to shake off this negative energy, but no matter what you do, this shit don't work. What if someone is putting dark magic and voodoo on you without you even knowing it? This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. When it comes to magic, we heard about the little small things, like if you go to the barbershop, take your hair with you. You go to the hair salon, take your hair with you. Never leave your hair behind because someone can take it and put a spell on you. If you feel like you have demons attached to your body, just take a spiritual bath. We heard about those, but what about the destiny part? Someone can steal your destiny. Everything is dealing with spiritual attachments. If you are attached to something, it becomes attached to you. No one can put a spell on you if your emotions are not attached to them. Your family, your friends, your relationships, is all attachments. But do you know what the biggest attachment is? Religion. Nobody want to speak about this, but I'm gonna speak about it. It goes back to destiny and you losing yours. We all had a spiritual purpose, but when these people came here and gave us the Bible, we stopped our destiny and started worrying about what's in this book, not realizing this is the book of spells. This story is really connected to so-called African Americans. We lost our destiny when it came to slavery. Slavery was a 400-year curse with magic. They gave us this book and took our spirituality. So now if you don't believe in the Bible, they say you're going to hell. But if you want to get into spirituality, they say you're going to hell. Slavery was really a destiny swap. These people took our land, took our position, our spirituality, and they took it for themselves. Once again, if you feel like your life is hard, it's rough, you can't shake these demons, it's so hard for us in America, this is why. It wasn't about slavery. It was a magic spell, and that spell still exists right now. But the real question is this: who taught these white slave masters how to do magic spells on so-called African Americans? Where did it come from? You ever feel like your life should be better than what it is?
So he went into some whole other shit, but I could see exactly, the correlation, the spiritual correlation he was trying to form. But mine is more like a personal, like an individual example. But what he spoke about was, in regards to a spell, being under a spell, it basically it all comes back to attachment. If you're not attached to some, if you don't have an attachment, right, then can't nobody have influence over you. You know what I'm saying? So, or a spell, right? So it's like if I'm in a relationship and the female that I'm with, my partner, whatever, the person I'm with is a low vibrational piece of shit that loves chaos and drama. It's an energy vampire that doesn't want peace, doesn't want solutions, just constantly in a state of their nervous system is all jacked up and fucked up and just nasty, you know what I mean? It's just spiritual nasty work going on in their, you know what I mean, in their you know, their force field, whatever the fuck, their aura. Like, because I'm attached to them, it don't matter how in control I am of my own energy, is still going to influence me to some degree. Let's have a real conversation, you know what I'm saying? So the spell comes from the attachment, right? And that's why they say you have to cut all ties. You have to cut, you know what I mean? Because that's the fucking spell right there. But so, you know, it's like, but where I'm going with it is, all of us know what there's it's just some spiritual telekinesis. We know our highest self talks to us all the time, and it tells us what we're supposed to be doing and what we're not supposed to be doing. And then here comes our fucking ego, and our ego says, man, fuck all that shit, I want to keep doing what we doing. And that's it. And it's as simple as that. And I think that when you haven't learned how to master your ego and how to control it, right? Then you stuck in a lower frequency. You're stuck in a lower consciousness. You're stuck in your lower self. And your lower self is obviously, your lower self is going to prevent you from, you know, every version of yourself. Every version of yourself, there's like in my opinion, you got a path. I want to say every version of yourself or every level of consciousness has like a destiny, you know what I mean? But I want to say, like, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, I feel like the highest version of yourself has like a destiny, like your true destiny, where it's like, this is your God-given ability, this is your superpower, this is your gift, and this is what you meant, this is how you're meant to, you know what I mean? You're supposed to figure out a way to use your gift to, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to say make the world a better place or no shit like that, but, you know, get the job done, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know? And I think that, like I said, going back to what I said, all of us know, we know what we're supposed to be doing, but we sit up here and we make excuses. You know what I mean? And we procrastinate. A lot of us procrastinate on our own destiny. So it's like, with me, it's like a lot of times, me personally, I'll show love to strangers more than I show love to myself. Or if somebody else have problems, I'll put their problems in front of mine, and I'm out here trying to solve other people's problems before I even begin solving my own, you know what I mean? And that is I think that's, you know what I mean, a version of your lower consciousness, you know, interfering with your destiny. Let's have a real conversation. And you're ultimately swapping destinies with yourself. You're choosing. This nigga got a hard ass Lil Wayne shirt. He got the Carter 3 shirt. That shirt is fire. But You know what I mean? You're robbing yourself. You're you know, that's the burden of fucking free will. You know what I mean? You're literally robbing yourself of your own destiny because you're choosing to be in a lower vibration or frequency of your own damn self. You're choosing that. Cause like I said, everybody know what we supposed to, you know what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? You know where you belong, you know where you don't belong. Um so I think, you know, a lot of truth seekers, you know, people that seek the truth, people that claim to be enlightened, you know, I still think there's a big lack of spiritual accountability. And you know, if you can't keep it real with yourself, you can't keep it real with anybody else. And you know, the majority of my life, I felt like, I mean, since birth, since I came into this dumbass realm, I felt like what this guy said, like, no matter what I do, it don't matter. No matter how hard I work, they won't let me make thousands of dollars. They won't let me make an abundance of money. No matter how, if I could work every day, I could work 70, 80 hours a week, and they won't let me make thousands of dollars. The car will break down. I'll get sick and won't be able to physically work. Or random bills are pop. You know what I mean? No matter how hard I'm trying to, you know, I'm in a relationship, no matter how hard I pour into this person, they still on some unexplainable sabotage, demonic shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I felt like that my whole life because I went through every single person that I was with, and I was like, damn, did this person put some voodoo on me, or did this person put a hex on me, or dark magic, or whatever the fuck? But I'm like, I came in this motherfucker like this. The energy was always the sabotage was always like this since birth, since birth. You know what I mean? So it's like, is it a situation where somebody put some dark magic on you, or is it a situation where it's an opportunity to, you know, just completely like sharpen your spirit to where you just on the next level when you finally leave this place? Let's have a real conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always, you want to talk about Murphy's Law. I'm a disciple. Murphy's Law is my daddy. You know what I mean? Since day zero. Murphy's Law been my daddy since day zero. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I do feel like, you know, somebody said earth is the highest level of hell and the lowest level of heaven. You know, I fucking hate it here, bro. I hate it here. You know, it's the Truman Show mixed with the Matrix, mixed with whatever demonic low vibrational bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Genuinely. But I know that, you know, I still gotta level up. And it's as simple as that. You know what I mean? But going back to, like you said, I might play another video, but it's just about attachments. You know? And that's it. Attachments and controlling your energy. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Because a lot of us be in situations where the average person don't even know what their gift is or their passion, what they would do for the rest of their life for free. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm an humanitarian. I fucking hate people because, and the reason why I say I hate people is because the average fucking person that didn't fuck up the video. But it's like, even if you don't believe, and because even if you don't believe in shit, it don't mean it doesn't exist. It doesn't mean it's not real. It doesn't mean it can't happen to you tomorrow or in your next life. Let's have a real conversation. That's why, like, I'm obsessed with new information and new perspectives. Let's have a real conversation. That's what I'm obsessed with. You know what I mean? Because even if you don't believe that somebody else can harvest your energy and use it to power their destiny or whatever the fuck, you can do it to yourself. A lower version, you know what I mean? A lower conscious frequency version of yourself can rob all the higher levels of yourself to prevent you from walking that true path of your destiny. Let's have a real conversation. You know what I mean? I'm coming doing this dumbass. I don't want to do this dumbass job, but it's like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing consciously. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? To put myself in a situation to where I can start walking on that path. And the average person is not honest with themselves. You know what I mean? Even when I'm just, you know, I'm catching myself, I'm like, dude, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not gonna lie to myself. The average person lies to themselves about where they are, you know, on their path. Let's have a real conversation. And then they also don't want to do the work, or they ignore it, or they procrastinate. And that's just the most disrespectful thing you could do to your soul, is to delay your own spiritual progress, or delay your own destiny. Let's have a real conversation. To delay your own destiny, it's the most disrespectful thing you could do to your soul, period. And if you think about it, it don't make no fucking sense. But that's this realm, and that's why I hate this realm, because they make the distractions so embedded that it's like they teach you how to, they basically program you to distract yourself. And that's the most wicked part of this fucking realm. You know what I mean? So let me see if I got another video. Let's see what this guy's talking about.
I'm gonna show you how deep destiny swapping goes. Cause you got motherfuckers trying to rewrite your entire...
Dude, they sending me bullshit, bro. Come on now. Come on now.
I'm gonna show you how deep destiny... I'm gonna show you how deep destiny swapping goes. Cause you got motherfuckers trying to rewrite your entire existence and play it off as their own. When that's not the case, baby. The New World Order is the occult, the FMs, the SBs. If you know, you know. That is them trying to destiny swap the reality of the Christ conscious energies of the Most High being brought back onto the realm. Understand, what a better way to continue to control the masses than to get the masses to believe that we're all one. Their plans of division and separation are no longer successful, and they understand that we're seeing through the illusions. So their division isn't gonna work on people who could see through that shit. And the main reason why these ideologies haven't been placed into reality is because we haven't accepted it as truth. Understand, that is why you will find out that the New World Order agenda has been around since the late 90s, bro. They have to put these things into reality very early and allow for the energy of us to manifest it into something real. This is how they bring fake things into reality, bro. It is all through you. Separation is a tool that the ego uses to invoke division upon your mind, body, and soul. Because now you're perceiving your being as something different when it's not. You're going to the gym lifting legs when your legs are attached to your hips, and your hips are attached to your motherfucking back and your scapula, and your scapula attaches to your arms. So if you focus on one thing, you're neglecting your whole body as a being, and in turn, it doesn't create longevity within your reality, gang. I'm gonna show you how deep destiny swapping goes.
I need everybody to go and watch the documentary Maternal Instinct on Netflix, because that is what destiny swapping actually looks like. See, when a lot of people think about destiny swapping, they imagine a witch standing over a cauldron, chanting your name and praying for your destiny. But that's not what it actually is. It usually starts with a close friend, family member, and sometimes romantic partner that you are your authentic self with, that you are vulnerable with, that you are honest with, and they like and admire the aspects of yourself and your goals and your future and your destiny that you share with them. Therefore, they try to become you. Why? Because they want your life as well as the destiny that they admire. When you understand that destiny is simply a predetermined set of outcomes, oftentimes someone who doesn't know who they are will get close to someone who is very clear about who they are. They have a clear vision and are actually in the process of executing that vision. Like a woman who has a vision to have a family is in the process of creating that family by being pregnant. Someone like Taylor, who is a destiny swapper, wanted the life that her friend had at first, because remember, her friend was pregnant at first and she was trying to adopt her life. She was trying to take on her pregnancy as though it was Taylor's own pregnancy. But that friend quickly recognized the signs and got away. She said it was becoming scary. What was becoming scary? The obsession, the mirroring. Like I said, a destiny swapper usually starts out as someone who is close to you and admires you. But then what they will try to do is live your life as though it is their life. Sometimes you will even catch them telling other people that your life events are the life events that have happened to them. How Taylor was doing with the other lady that she worked with by pretending that she lost a child. Those are clear red flags that someone is a destiny swapper. When they start mirroring you, mirroring your personality, mirroring your life events, when they start behaving like you, dressing like you, as well as when your goals that you have predetermined become their goals, those are all red flags that you are in the midst of a destiny swapper, and you need to get away because it can get dangerous, as it did in Maternal Instinct. The destiny that Taylor wanted was to bring home a baby. That was Reagan's destiny. Taylor could not have that destiny because Taylor could not have children. Therefore, she attempted to swap destinies with Reagan. That is destiny swapping. Reagan was pregnant. It was a part of her destiny to birth that baby as Taylor saw it. Taylor wanted that destiny, therefore she attempted to destiny swap. Again, a lot of people think destiny swapping is about a witch with a cauldron chanting your name and spiritually swapping your destiny. And yes, it could be that. But what destiny swapping looks like in reality is the person who is close to you, the person who admires you, the person who always wants to live life with you, trying to live your life for you, trying to take your future by being you in the present. Be careful, be mindful, know the signs. I need everybody to go and watch the
So in the earth realm, we call that a hating ass nigga. I feel safe inside white vagina.
Trying to trade lives with you, you're not imagining it. Destiny swapping is very real and it's very scary. Sometimes you meet someone and everything in your life starts to shift for the worse. Your confidence drops, your opportunities start declining, and most importantly, you feel very off and misaligned. And at the same time, that person starts glowing, shining, and stepping into everything that once felt aligned for you. That's not always random. Some people intentionally attach themselves to your energy and they will literally drain you and deplete you of everything that's you. Meanwhile, you start shrinking and losing your spark. So if you've ever felt like you've lost yourself around someone, you're not imagining it, and it might be destiny swapping. If you've ever thought that someone was trying to trade...
I like this topic because it's like, it can go so many places, but like I said, you can destiny swap with yourself. If you are at a low aversion, vibration, frequency that of yourself, you can literally be stealing. You're stealing your own energy from a higher version of yourself, a higher future version of yourself. And you're robbing yourself from your own destiny. So it doesn't even have to be a fucking external type of thing. While it can be. Now me, I ain't never had, I'm thinking like, cause I never really had friends like that. I never was allowed. See, I was popular, but I didn't have friends. A lot of people won't even understand what that fucking means. So I never even had the opportunity where niggas was trying to be like me, because I didn't have niggas around me. The most I had was like girlfriends, but my bitches wasn't trying to be like me like that. You know what I mean? But there are people out there, yeah, clones. Motherfuckers is clones. There's a lot of people. You see it all the time. Social media is responsible for a lot of this destiny swapping shit. They see motherfuckers acting a certain way on the internet, and then they just copy their whole style. Let's have a real conversation. I'll say the closest I was, you know, I tried to be like, and even till today, like, you know, I tried to like mimic and be like my uncle, because my uncle was the definition of what a cool nigga was. He had all the brand new clothes. He had the brand new fucking Air Force Ones, no creases, right? All the expensive shit. He had the Mitchell and Ness throwback jerseys, had the fitteds. The nigga had the car, listen to the brand. He had the brand new albums. Nigga had bitches. I was like, nigga, that's what I'm trying to be like. And to this day, I still wear my shoes the way he wear his shoes, unlaced. I'll still wear my clothes the same way I see him wear his clothes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not gonna say that's necessarily destiny swapping, because I went somewhere completely different than anybody that I know in my family. Maybe my cousin. Maybe my cousin is on the same where I'm at with it, but that's the most I've ever done in my life, you know what I mean? Because when you reconnect with your soul, you know, you lose interest in, you know what I mean? You lose interest in trying to be like anybody else. Let's have a real conversation. But like I said, even if you don't believe this is like an external spiritual attack, it can be an internal spiritual attack on yourself. Especially if you're not like right now in this moment, right now. If you're working a job that you hate, you're not living out your destiny. If you're in an environment that you hate, you're not living out your destiny. Your destiny is not your enemy. Your destiny is supposed to be, you know what I mean, like a friend to the highest version of yourself. Let's have a real conversation, right? Does that make sense? You know, if you're out here begging for people's energy and attention and shit, you haven't stepped into your own destiny. You know what I mean? If you're out here trying to ruin people's fucking lives and shit, ruining your own life, you know. Every time you open your fucking mouth, you talking about somebody else. You worried about somebody else. Grown fucking man. Grown ass man, grown ass woman. Every time you open your fucking mouth, you talking about another person. You ain't living your destiny. Let's have a real conversation. You know what I mean? When you living out your destiny, you're so fucking in a state of gratefulness that you don't give a fuck about none of that. You don't give a fuck about nothing underneath that frequency. Let's have a real conversation. You know what I'm saying? If I was living out my destiny, I wouldn't be making videos about LeBron James, nigga. Let's have a real conversation, man. You know? So I think that you know, I don't know. Just something like when I sit down and start to analyze information and theories and concepts, a lot of times I come up with a completely, I've never heard anybody say, well, have you thought about the concept of destiny swapping with yourself? Have you thought about the concept of, you know, a lower version, a lower frequency version of yourself, you know what I mean, robbing you of your own destiny, or not, you know, delaying you from your destiny, you know, keeping you, you know what I mean? Because it's like, bro, I've been in situations where it's like I'm around people and it's like I see, and that's why I talk about spiritual foresight and discernment and, you know, like supreme awareness. These are gifts. Let's have a real conversation. And it's like you can see the future. You can see the future. Half the time, bro, I'm like, am I having a dream? Did I have a dream last night? Or was that shit a goddamn premonition? Was that shit foreshadowing? You know what I mean? Half the time I'm like, that shit, like, what the fuck was that? You know, wake up more tired than I was before I went to bed because all the shit that was going on when I closed my eyes. But it's like you really can, when you really tapped in to source, God, your highest version of yourself, nigga, you can see the future. It's right there. You can see it. And it's like, I've been in situations where I'm like, bro, if I stay here, this nigga's gonna die. This bitch is gonna die. I might die. I mean, you be doing me a favor. You be doing me a favor if you got off like that. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, I will say this, and it might be a little, you know, it might be the ego, but dog, like, on some for real shit, where, like, you know, when you reconnect with your soul and you tap into source, you become like a damn near like untouchable. Now, nobody's untouchable, but you become close to an untouchable, and you become desirable as fuck. You become sexy as fuck to the devil or to whatever low vibrational entities rule over this shit, or it's just your own, the lowest version of yourself, the lowest, you know what I mean? You become sexy as fuck. And that's why the Matrix is constantly screaming like for your attention, begging for your attention. But I'm like, I got too much. My purpose is just too great to throw it away, to literally throw it away on an individual that hasn't mastered themselves or even come close to it. You know what I'm saying? I would love to crash out every day. I you know what I mean? I have wet dreams of crashing out. I would love to crash out. You know what I mean? I would love to. I'm done. I'm through, bro. I'm through. Like, I learned a lot. A lot of people don't fucking change and grow and evolve. You know what I mean? In the last 10 years, I'm a completely different person. I still have the same fundamentals, but I'm my actions, my behavior has changed. There's people that go their whole fucking life and they don't change. They have the same bullshit, immature behavior their whole life. I was a person that literally, bro, I treated motherfuckers like shit. I was trolling before trolling was a thing. I was gaslighting before I even knew what that was. I was gaslighting motherfuckers before I even knew what that was. You understand what I'm saying? And then when I guess I'm reconnecting the progress or the process of me reconnecting with my soul, that, you know, maybe that's when my empathy started to activate, you know what I mean, whatever. And I'm like, nah, I can't treat people like that. It's spiritual law. Let's have a real conversation. You know what I mean? And people that ain't shit, you don't treat them like that. You don't even give them your energy. You don't fuel them. You don't give them no gas. You starve them. You don't give them nothing. You starve them. It's a fucking bitch, bro. I've never been disrespected in my life so much by somebody I thought was a real friend. I thought this bitch was my real friend. I thought she was my friend. And I thought we had an understanding of loyalty, you know, to some degree. Like a line you don't cross. This bitch done jumped over that line. You know what I mean? Like, time after time after time after time again. And I finally said, yo, I'm closing the door. I don't give a fuck if you die. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you die. I'm over it. You know what I mean?
Reverse a destiny swap in 60 seconds. A destiny swap? I'm going to teach you how to reverse a destiny swap in 60 seconds. A destiny swap happens when somebody covets your lifestyle so much that they do everything in their power to be exactly like you. And that includes swapping their intended destiny for yours. Not everyone is aware when they're swapping destinies with someone or when they're coveting their lifestyle so much that they do this. But what they will start doing is start to mimic your mannerisms. They will start to like the same things that you like, dress the way that you dress, go to the places you go, talk to the friends that you have, and even sometimes try and take your partner. If you haven't been feeling yourself lately and you feel your desires and passions for the things you once loved slipping away from you, then do this. Recite out loud your full name, the time of your birth, the place of your birth, and the date of your birth. Do this as many times as you need to until you start feeling confident in yourself again. And confirmation that you have been destiny swapped or someone is attempting to do so is if you have trouble remembering any of those 4 things that I just listed. Do this 1 to 3 times per day until you can confidently, accurately, and quickly say all these 4 qualities about yourself. To make this extra strong, you can also add in phrases such as, I now reclaim all of my destiny back to myself again. Or
I reclaim
now
all
return
my
the
destiny,
energy and
bitch.
destiny to their rightful owners. Fun bonus, if you find yourself saying somebody else's name, date of birth, place of birth, or time of birth, that may be the person who is actually trying to swap destinies with you. Follow for more witchy tips. Bye. I'm going to teach you how to...
Witchy tips. Anyway. So yeah, that's the video, man. And another thing is like, bro, you ever feel just tired all the time, man? You just feel tired. You just feel like you ain't even got the fucking energy to do shit. You know what I mean? You know? But yeah, bro, like I said, you know, I'm like, before my new shit is like, before I start trying to blame some shit in the external world, I'm like, okay, this bitch look great. Before I start blaming shit in the external world, you gotta, man, Chuck E. Cheese got some fucking, they got some hittable bitches, bro. Chuck E. Cheese got some single moms that's hittable, okay? God damn. Chuck E. Cheese, I'm about to start loitering outside Chuck E. Cheese, and not for the kids, for these single moms, for these single mammies. God damn. Allegedly, but once again, bro, it's me versus me, it's you versus you. All this external shit, it's a waste. It truly is, like, it's a waste of fucking energy, bro. It really is. Because once you master yourself, don't none of this shit matter. You know what I'm saying? And niggas is out here playing games, bro. They live their whole life playing games. And I don't have the energy for it. You know what I mean? You know? Niggas play their whole life playing games. That's really like spiritual red flag right there. A person they just can't keep it real, they can't keep it consistent. You know what I mean? So the only loyalty, the only person, the only entity you should be loyal to is your soul. That should be your priority. It's as simple as that, bro. Because like I said, I've been in situations where I would have sent a nigga to God over a bitch. And like, in the moment, I didn't give a fuck. I was self-aware enough to know there's some nut ass shit. There's some goofball ass shit. But I didn't give a fuck. And it was my ego, my lower version of myself. You know what I mean? And then, you know, you just think about it. You go to jail, you go to prison, you end up dying. Your ego or your low frequency of yourself. You just robbed yourself of your destiny. Now it's, what happens next? Are you gonna get recycled? You know what I mean? You gotta go to a cosmic detention, and fucking Sophia's trifling ass is fucking you know what I mean? She got the door locked and shit, you know? Bitch ass fucking Yao Dabaya, he's the motherfucking principal. Do what you gotta do in this lifetime. Complete your soul's path. Beat the fucking video game in this life. That's the only thing I tell the people I give a fuck about. Beat the video game this time around. If you fucking addicted to fucking drugs and alcohol, stop. If you addicted to fucking pussy, money, weed, stop. If you attached, whatever you're attached to, cut ties with it. Niggas know what they supposed to be doing. And niggas is not doing it. Niggas is using their free will to delay their own destiny. Let's have a real conversation. It's just what it is. And like I said, I don't think I've ever seen a video where somebody brought up the theory or the concept of an individual destiny swapping with themselves. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but it's like the level of disrespect, you know, these people, bro, you know, the higher you elevate, you spiritually evolve, yo, your spirit, you gonna get more sensitive, nigga. You gonna get, you know, it's damn near like getting like, you get a little soft. You get a little soft because we living in hell. We living in the penthouse of hell. Let's have a real conversation. This is the Aruba of hell, right? The Bora Bora of right? Of Hades. The Bora Bora of Hades. Let's have a real conversation. That's why when you evolve spiritually, don't none of this shit matter. You just really want to be around like people that's on the same wavelength. That's all you really want. You just want to spend time with people that understand you and understand themselves. All of this other shit, material shit, it is cool, but it doesn't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter, bro. I got like a $2,000 shoe collection, bro. When I was homeless, I couldn't even afford a pair of shoes because I had to use all my money to buy hotels and shit. I'm walking around with a pair of dirty ass fucking Air Force Ones. Dirty. And that's not how I didn't come up like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care how fucked up a nigga was. Nigga had a fresh pair of shoes every day. And when I was homeless, I was like, fucking, that shit traumatized me. And as soon as I got a job, I fucking spent so much money on shoes, bro. I spent so much that I don't even wear now. You know what I mean? Because it never mattered. It never mattered to my soul. It mattered to my ego. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. It is what it is. But It's Saturday, you know what I'm saying? Happy Saturday. I'm trying to make some money. I don't know what the fuck going on. I'm out here trying to make some Goyim bucks. I'm trying to make some Goyim notes. Goyim coins and shit. This is bullshit, bro. Absolute bullshit, my nigga. But yeah, man. That's the video. Appreciate everybody chiming in on the conversation. I said, man, the spell is the attachment. It's nothing wrong, you know, like Chronicles of Judah say, it's nothing wrong with admiring people and being inspired by people and being grateful for people. It's nothing wrong with being in love with somebody. It's not, I mean, it's not wrong with having like strong, you know what I mean? But you have to identify your attachments. It's like you got to learn how to love somebody but not be attached to them. You got to be able to look in the mirror and love yourself but not be attached to this body. You got to be able to, you know, oh, I just bought me a house. I just got me a car. I just did something in my career, but not be attached to this world. Let's have a real conversation. And that's the hardest part. That's the hardest part. Constantly, every day you wake up, you have to constantly detach. You know what I'm saying? But not lose your fucking mind at the same time. It's a very difficult thing to learn how to do. You know what I mean? Because like I learned how I can love a bitch but not be like, those is your demons, those is your flaws. There's a, you know what I mean? There's a bound. Like, your demons ain't coming. You know what I mean? Your demons are gonna stay in your yard. Your demons are gonna stay in your yard, bitch. Because what we do is we allow people's demons to come into our yard. Because we didn't learn how to separate it, you know what I mean? So there's that, man. Let me get up out of here. Probably not gonna make another video for a second, but do got a song though coming out. Do got a song coming out, and the reason why I made this video is because I do have a song coming out about destiny swapping. I'm gonna try to get Water Style on there. Hurricane, if you want to hop on here, pause. I'll send you the beat. But if you look into this shit, it has a lot of fucking layers to destiny swapping. And a lot of different ways you can attack it, you know what I mean? Doesn't have to be somebody else. Doesn't have to be somebody else doing witchcraft on you or nothing. You could be doing the witchcraft on yourself. You could be doing the witchcraft on yourself. And that's what resonated with me to make this video. So I'm gonna catch up with y'all later, man. You know what I'm saying? Fuck Larry Gators. I say fuck Larry Gators, because Larry Gators, he be dropping some shit. He be coming with some fire. But he's in the cult of Cheeto Jesus. Let's have a real conversation. He's a Cheeto Jesus disciple. He'll never say anything bad about Donald Trump. he said it sounds like a dimensional shift. Hey, you can look at it like that. Every time you level up on a conscious level, it's damn near like you in a new dimension or a new reality, because your point of view, your perception or perspective completely, it changes. It's like it's just like a spiritual rebirth, you know what I mean? Because I'm always like, what am I living in? What dimension am I living in? You know what I mean? It's like we used to do shit a certain way, and every single time you upgrade your paradigm, right? Every time you upgrade your paradigm, it is like you're moving into a different dimension. And you look around and you see, and it's like you in a new world and people is in older worlds and shit like that. You know what I mean? But it's all this whole shit, bro. It's just a war on your mind, body, and soul. It's just a constant fucking war, man. Motherfucker's only 35 years old, bro. God damn. Motherfucker only 35 years old. I feel twice my age. All fucked up. I am a bruised and battered truth seeker. I'm all fucked up. Okay? He said this is the dimension where people can actually go to hell. I'm about to go get mine something to eat. But, you know, just remember, bro, that's all I would say, man. Like, I don't waste my energy on people I don't give a fuck about. So it's like, you know, if what I'm saying resonate with you, like I said, you know, the most disrespectful thing you could do to your soul is delay your own destiny. And I speak for myself too, because I'm out here doing the most irrelevant shit. I'm out here doing the most irrelevant fucking meaningless fucking task of like delivering food and you know, the other shit that I do. Like, it's just like, this is not, you know, you look like, okay, if you died today, you look back on your life as like, that's it, my nigga. That was, you know what I mean? It's like, that's, you had a divine incarnation and what'd you do? You spent half your life working at T-Mobile, nigga? What? Nigga, what? Alright? So like I said, beat the video game this time around. Let's beat the video game this time around. Let's fulfill our destiny this time around. Simple as that. Because I'm a loyal motherfucker. I'm a very loyal person. If I fuck with you, I'll fucking crash out over you. You won't even have to say shit. But when it's not, when the frequency isn't reciprocated, you got to go. Period. You gotta go. And a lot of us are wasting our fucking time, money, energy, lives on people that don't even deserve to be in our aura. Let's have a real conversation, bro. You know what I mean? I can't stand a motherfucker that come up with they come up with the con. Every time you like, well, you know, you come up with solutions, they come up with the cons. You come up with the pros, they come up with the cons every time. Well, fucking be miserable. Well, fucking be miserable. Because that's your hell right there. I don't want to be miserable. I don't want to be here, but I'm damn sure if I'm gonna be here, I'm not gonna be miserable. Especially like voluntarily and shit. You dig? Can we get an amen? Can we get a hallelujah? Praise Jesus from Hurricane? Can we get a hallelujah? Halle Berry, hallelujah. And I tell you, you know, what you just said, Jay, you know how many times a bitch that I was in love with, I saw, we get into an argument, and I'm speaking the truth, and the bitch that I'm in love with, I see the demon come through her eyes and her face and tell me, she called me the C word. You're crazy. Bitch, you right. Bitch, you right. I am crazy about my discernment. I don't play about it. I am crazy about the truth. I don't play about it. I am crazy about, you know what I'm saying, being loyal, you know what I mean, to God, the highest version of myself. I don't play about it. Because if it wasn't for God, the highest version of myself, I would have been killed one of you motherfuckers in Grand Theft Auto. Nigga would have been on first 48. Fuck is you talking about? Yeah, you right. I am crazy about being true to myself. I am. Because don't nobody else give a fuck about me the way Source does. Nobody. Not my parents, not my family, not my, you know, not these so-called friends. Fuck out of here. So yeah, you should be a psychopath about Source. Yeah. Yup. Because when somebody is speaking the truth, and your reaction is to call them crazy, you're a fucking demon. Period. So there's that. Like, I'm not perfect. So I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And that haircut didn't give a fuck either. His haircut didn't give a fuck. His barber didn't give a fuck either. I forget what that shit was called. But yeah, man. Happy Saturday. I feel safe in white woman's vagina. Catch you on the next one, man. So I might do a this weekend, either maybe tonight or tomorrow night, I'ma do a panel. Like, I'ma just do like a StreamYard shit. So either tonight or tomorrow night, I'ma just do a random ass show. So if y'all wanna call in, talk shit.